This is the family home of my father's family near Keystone, South Dakota, in the Black Hills of South Dakota, not too far from Rapid City. My father is this child in the middle of the picture, and I can't identify them positively, but two of these people are my father's parents, of course, and he was born in 1886 and lived in Keystone until he started going to the School of Mines in Rapid City, South Dakota, and he eventually graduated from the School of Mines, I think, in 1910. This is a family portrait of the Wheelock family, and my father is shown here on the upper left-hand corner of the picture, and his mother is on his right, and his father is clear over in the opposite corner of the photograph. The other son in back is my Uncle Wad, or Clarence. Wad was his nickname. His name was actually Clarence. Then the young man in the lower level of the picture is George Wheelock. There was about 5 years difference between the three brothers. My father was born in 1886, and so my Uncle Wad would have been born in 1891, and George should have been born in about 1896. This was taken, I think, when they were, the family moved to Rapid City, and this is where this photograph was taken. And this probably was about the time that my father probably graduated from the South Dakota School of Mines, I would guess. Now, my mother attended a business college back in, I think, eastern Nebraska, and after working in a couple of locations in Nebraska, she moved to Rapid City, where she became the secretary at the South Dakota School of Mines, and this is a photograph of her. Well, she was working as a secretary. And then in about I think it was about 1914, they were married. She married my father. And this is a picture taken much later of my mother and father. I think these photographs were taken in about 1932. And at that time, they were living, well, they'd been living in Mexico. My father moved to Mexico in about 1922, and my mother followed a little bit later. This is a photograph of my mother and her two sons, son Jack or John on the right, and his younger brother Bill, and that would be on the other side. And Jack was born in I think it was 1915, and his brother Bill was born a year later. And I think this particular photograph was taken in probably in El Paso, Texas, where they were visiting, and I don't know the exact year. This is a photograph of my two brothers and me, and I think at that time I was probably about 2 years old, and so my brother Jack was, I think, 10 years older, and my brother Bill was about 9 years older than I was. And this is a photograph of Jack and Bill, Jack on the right, Bill on the left. There was only a year difference in their ages. I think this was probably taken about when they were in high school, and the family at that time was living in Mexico, and they went to Missouri Valley, Iowa to attend high school, and they graduated from high school in about 1931, I believe. Then, much later, this is a photograph of my brother Jack and his family, and this would have been taken, oh boy, much later, of course. This is Jack, and the lady on the left is his wife Frances, and then their two children. This would be Johnny on the right, Jack was holding, and the little girl, baby girl on the left, her name was Judy. And at the time, the family was living out in California, in the area of Santa Monica, California. My brother was working at that time for Douglas Aircraft Company in Santa Monica, California. Where do we go from here?